dare you, as an adopted child, act like an older sister to me, your biological sister? I am not the type to invite a complete stranger to a wedding. Huh? Lucille, what do you mean by that? I mean, you're not actually related to Stefan, right? That makes you a complete outsider. I've wasted my time being polite to you all this time. I've always wondered why, even though you're Jasper's sister, you turned out to be such a failure. A failure? Of course, you're unemployed, aren't you? Meanwhile, Jasper is an elite businessman working for a top company. If you're not even blood related, it all makes sense, doesn't it? That's a pretty rude thing to say. What do you think Jasper would say if he heard that? What would he say? I'm just stating facts. You're a complete stranger, and I have no obligation to respect you at all. In fact, you've been acting superior, basking in your own sense of superiority, right? You don't think Jasper would be disappointed in you? Not only have you not respected me, but you've also spoken down to me all this time. And I don't think I consider myself superior to you at all. Aren't you overthinking things? Regardless, a fraud like you shouldn't come to the wedding. Besides, I have no intention of recognizing you as my sister-in-law. Then I'll just skip it. Of course. If you show up, I'll spill your secrets, you know. Are you talking about the debt? Of course, and also that you're unemployed. You're hiding it from the family, aren't you? I bet you wouldn't want that to get out. Fine, I'll skip it as you said. That's no complaint, right? Either way, if you tell me not to come, I won't plan on going. Then just stay quiet at home on the day of the wedding. Someone like you, a complete loser, could never become a part of our family of doctors like ours. Really, Lucille? You think you're so much better than me, huh? Just because you have a job? What's that really worth? Money? Status? It doesn't define who a person is. You might think that, but let's be real here. In this world, it's all about appearances. You have to admit that my path is much better than yours. I am making something of myself, and you're just standing still. Your entire life is just a constant struggle, and it shows. How shallow can you be? You think you know everything because you have a stable job? What happens when that job is gone? You think your life will just stay perfect forever? Life is not that simple. Listen, it doesn't matter. I'm not the one whose future looks bleak. I have opportunities, and I'm going to make the most of them. What are you doing, complaining about how unfair life is while sitting around? Just wait a second. What about all those times you came to me for help? When you had your own struggles, you expected me to be there, right? But now you want to throw my past in my face? Either way, I'm not going to have a loser like you coming to this wedding, so stay away from my family and I.
Hey, Ellie, why aren't you at the ceremony? It's about to start soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jasper. I was just feeling a bit under the weather.
Really? Are you okay?
It came on suddenly this morning, but I'll be fine. I'll feel better soon.
Then I'll go ahead and contact Dr. Inoue. I'm worried because I want to make sure everything's all right before something happens.
What? No, it's really okay.
No, it's not okay. You're feeling unwell enough to miss my wedding, right? If that's the case, you absolutely need to see a doctor.
I'm telling you, it's fine. Look, going to the hospital is hard for me right now.
Is it really that bad? All right, then, I'll see if I can ask someone to come over to your house.
No way. It's Saturday, and I don't want to bother Dr. Ino.
What are you talking about? It's totally fine. Dr. Inoue's clinic only accepts house calls on Saturday mornings anyway. I'll contact them, so just stay home and rest.
Ugh, seriously?
Hey, what's going on? I heard from Dr. Inoue.
What? I told you not to tell anyone.
He must have been conflicted about it, but he couldn't just ignore it. More importantly, is it true that Lucille has refused to attend?
Yeah, she said she doesn't want to invite even those who aren't blood related.
What? Lucille actually said that? I mean, you and I are technically cousins, right? It's not like we aren't blood related at all.
That doesn't matter to her. She simply dislikes me and found something she could use to attack me. To be precise, it's not about whether we're related or not that matters.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
I thought if I just put up with it, everything would settle down. I figured if I got into a fight with Lucille here, it would just cause you more trouble.
What are you talking about, Ellie? I'd rather not get married without knowing about that side of Lucille. It's appalling that she would insult you like that.
Wait, it's okay now. There's some truth to what she's saying.
There's no way there's any truth to that. Refusing to attend your wedding is unacceptable. I'm going to confront Lucille about this.
No, that's not necessary.
Why not? This is ridiculous. I can't believe she would behave this way. You deserve to be treated with respect, especially on a day like your wedding.
Look, Jasper, please listen to me. I know Lucille has her own reasons, and she might be feeling insecure. It's complicated, and I don't want to drag you into it. If you confront her, it could escalate the situation, and that's the last thing I want.
I understand what you're saying, but that doesn't justify her actions. You can't just let her get away with treating you like this. It's not fair to you, and it's certainly not fair to me.
I know it seems unfair, but it's better to take the high road. I just want to avoid unnecessary conflict. Besides, if she's upset, it could put a damper on everything, and I don't want you to feel responsible for that.
You're thinking too much about her feelings when it should be about you. You shouldn't have to hide your feelings or accommodate her at your own expense.
I get that, but I just don't want to cause any drama. I want everything to go smoothly for you. You've worked so hard for this day.
Ellie, it's not worth sacrificing your dignity. You matter too. I care about you and your happiness. I won't let anyone treat you this way, especially not on such an important occasion.
I appreciate that, but please try to understand where I'm coming from. I just want you to have a beautiful day together without any issues.
Fine, but know that I won't let this go. If I have to, I'll talk to Lucille later. You deserve better than this. Hey, Lucille, what on earth do you think you're doing? I've heard everything. It seems you've refused to let Ellie attend.
Wait, you heard that from Ellie?
Yeah, that's right. What are you thinking?
What do you mean, what am I thinking? I mean, it's ridiculous for her to sit in the family section when she's adopted. I refuse to let her come for the sake of you and the other family members. It's clear that she's on a different level altogether. The embarrassment would fall on all of you.
That's none of your business. I've relied on Ellie for a lot. Sure, she's not my direct sibling, but we treat each other like family.
Fine, let's call Ellie then, and I'll just delay the ceremony until she arrives.
No way. The ceremony is canceled. I can't marry you.
What? Wait a minute. I was thinking of your best interests.
What do you mean, my best interests? Don't mess with me. I'm seriously disappointed in you. I don't want to get married to someone like you.
Jasper, please reconsider. If our wedding gets canceled here, it'll cause trouble for so many people. Are you really okay with that?
No matter how much trouble it causes for those around us, I can't marry you.
Are you really serious? You'd think it's better to have a connection with us. After all, we're a family of doctors. We have a massive fortune. Is that not appealing to you?
I couldn't care less about that. I didn't plan to marry you for your money or status.
This is why people like you are at the bottom. Can you not think realistically?
Huh? Bottom?
Yeah, bottom. Your social value might be quite high, but your parents and Ellie have no decent education at all. To be honest, I didn't want to become part of your family in the first place, but I tolerated it because you're an elite.
Is that really how you think?
Especially about Ellie. I absolutely don't want someone like her, an unemployed woman with debts, in my family. That's why I told her not to come to the ceremony. I can't afford to have my dignity questioned because of her.
An unemployed woman with debts? What on earth are you talking about?
Ellie is currently unemployed and has debts she's been trying to hide, but I figured it out. Who would want to invite someone like that to a wedding?
Is that really the case? What exactly happened to Ellie?
Oh, my dad is calling. I'll talk to you later. I'll let him know you two are thinking about canceling the wedding on the day of. That's just pathetic.
What's the point of bringing this up, Lucille? This is about more than just money or status. It's about family, loyalty, and the people we care about. You can't just dismiss Ellie because you think she doesn't belong.
You don't get it, do you? It's not just about her not belonging. It's about preserving the integrity of our family. We have a reputation to uphold, and letting someone like her in would tarnish that reputation. It's not personal, it's practical.
Practical? You call this practical? Refusing someone who cares for me deeply simply because she doesn't fit your narrow definition of family? You should be ashamed.
Oh, please, spare me your emotional rhetoric. You're just letting your feelings cloud your judgment. This is a big event, and we have to be mindful of how it reflects on all of us. It's not just about you and Ellie, it's about everyone involved.
Everyone involved? What about my feelings? What about how Ellie feels? You can't just make decisions that affect others without considering them. If you had any respect for me, you would understand that.
Respect? Respect is earned, Jasper. And by your own admission, you're standing up for someone who clearly doesn't fit in. You're making a huge mistake if you think this is how things should be.
I don't care what you think is right or wrong. I know how I feel, and I refuse to let your elitist attitudes dictate who I can care for. Ellie deserves better than to be treated as less than.
You think you're being noble or brave by defending her, but this will only lead to more issues down the line. People will talk, families talk, they'll question your judgment, and then what?
Then they can question my judgment all they want. I'm not marrying you to appease anyone. I'm marrying for love, for companionship, and for loyalty. I thought you understood that.
You're naive, Jasper. This isn't a fairy tale. This is real life. You have to be pragmatic. You can't let emotions get in the way of making sound decisions for your future.
I thought I was making a sound decision by standing up for what's right. I don't want to marry someone who thinks money and social status define worth. If that's your perspective, then I don't want any part of it.
You think you're so different, but at the end of the day, you're still just like everyone else. You're just as concerned about appearances. You can't convince me otherwise.
You know what? I don't care about appearances anymore. I care about the people I love, the people who support me. If you can't see that, then maybe this is a sign that we shouldn't be together at all.
You're making a grave mistake, Jasper. You have no idea what you're giving up.
And you have no idea what you're losing by trying to control everything. I won't let you manipulate me or my relationships. I'm done.
Hey, wait a minute. Dad is cutting ties with me. What on earth is going on? Did you guys do something?
Huh? Dad is? I don't know, but...
You used a doctor to inform Dad, didn't you? Don't pull such a cowardly trick.
Using a doctor? What are you talking about?
Dad said he got a call from some doctor he knows. Who is this doctor? You guys have no connections to any doctors, right?
Wait, could it be Dr. Inoue?
Dr. Inoue? Who is that?
He's my primary care physician. I've been seeing him since I was a kid. I thought Ellie was genuinely feeling unwell today, so I asked Dr. Inoue to take a look at her.
So, you mean that doctor knows Dad?
Yeah, that guy really talks too much. He probably heard about Ellie and informed Dad. I didn't even know those two were acquainted.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean? A gossipy doctor isn't a competent physician.
Regardless, you can't be surprised if Dad says he's cutting ties after all this. I'm cutting ties with you too, got it?
What are you saying for real? Ugh, what am I supposed to do now?
Look, you need to understand the gravity of the situation. If Dad is seriously considering cutting ties with you, it means he's upset about something significant. We need to figure out what led to this. This isn't just about your relationship with him. It affects all of us.
But I didn't do anything wrong. I was only trying to help. Why does he think I would betray him?
You may not think you did anything wrong, but it's how your actions are perceived that matters. It's about the consequences. If the doctor really informed him about your situation, then it's only natural for Dad to be concerned.
But I can't believe he would sever our relationship over this. It's so unfair. I feel like I'm being punished for something that isn't my fault.
I understand that it feels unfair, but emotions can cloud judgment. You need to think about how your actions impact others. If you're close to Dad, you need to communicate with him.
Communicate? How can I communicate when he's already decided to cut ties? I don't even know where to start.
You have to approach him and explain your side. Show him that you're sincere and that you care about the family. This is a chance to set things right.
But what if he doesn't want to listen? What if he's already made up his mind?
You can't give up without trying. He might be upset right now, but that doesn't mean it's irreversible. He's your father. There's a bond that shouldn't just be thrown away because of a misunderstanding.
You really think it can be fixed?
I believe it can. Families go through rough patches, but it's how we handle them that defines us. If you care about your relationship with Dad, you have to fight for it.
Fight for it? But how?
Start by being honest. Go to him and express how you feel. Tell him you didn't mean for things to get this far. Maybe even apologize if necessary. You have to show that you want to make amends.
Oh, this is so frustrating. I didn't want any of this to happen. I just wanted to live my life without drama.
I get that, but sometimes drama finds us anyway. You have to deal with it head on instead of running away. Facing it might even bring you closer to Dad in the long run.
You really think this will work?
I have to believe that it can. Families are worth the effort. Just remember, it might take time for him to come around, but being genuine is key. Don't lose hope.
Okay, I guess I'll try, but if it doesn't work, I'm not sure what to do next.
One step at a time. Just remember to be open and honest with him. That's all you can do for now.
Please pick up the phone. No way, I don't want to talk at all. To you, I'm just a complete stranger, right? It's a serious situation. Just come over right now. Huh? What are you talking about all of a sudden? Just come here immediately. Something's going on with Dad, and he's really angry. I am formally inviting you, so hurry up and get here. Wait, but didn't your wedding get called off? If that's the case, it wouldn't make sense for me to come over now, would it? Then call Dad and explain that it's all a misunderstanding. He's saying he wants to cut ties with me. There's no way that can be done now. Just give it up. I can't just give up like that. It feels like I'm about to be disowned. You might not understand because you don't have parents, but I do. To think you could say something so terrible at this stage. You really haven't reflected on anything, have you? No, I'm sorry. Just convince Dad. Or if you could talk to that Dr. No guy, that would be fine too. That's impossible. Why should I have to do that for you? Because I'm the one reflecting on my mistakes. I'm apologizing like this, so it's only fair that you do something for me, right? How selfish can you be? Listen, if you don't reflect on that part of yourself, you won't find a fundamental solution. What? Are you planning to lecture me? You, who's buried in debt and unemployed? I'll expose your little secret, too. Well, I don't really care. I always thought it would eventually come out anyway. Oh, really? Well, I already told Jasper about it. Yeah, I was planning to talk to Jasper eventually. Besides, those debts aren't even mine. They were left behind by my parents. I was honestly shocked when you saw me talking to the debt collector. But you're unemployed, right? I heard that from the debt collector. I'm currently job hunting. My previous company went bankrupt. I just didn't want to worry Jasper, so I kept it to myself. But you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. Hiding it won't help. What's with you? Acting all cool about this is seriously annoying. By the way, you're unemployed too. You're just living off your parents. I don't have parents. In fact, I'm stuck with their debt. But aside from that, we're in the same boat. What? Don't compare me to you. My family is a well-known family of doctors, and I don't need to work. You were born a loser. That's what it is. I'll just forward this entire conversation to your father. Hey, stop it! Why are you such a terrible person? I'll return the favor just as it is. Well then. Wait! I can't believe you're acting this way. It's unbelievable how selfish you're being right now. Do you really think this is going to solve anything? It's not just about me, you know. My whole future is at stake. Dad is saying he wants to sever ties, and that could ruin everything. You really have no idea how difficult it is for someone without parents, do you? You think you're the only one who has problems? I didn't say that. I just want you to understand the gravity of the situation. But you don't seem to understand how unfair you're being either. You expect me to drop everything and come running just because you're in trouble? That's not what I mean. I'm trying to explain that this is a huge deal for me. You need to see that. And what do you expect me to do? Just ignore my own problems and help you out with yours? You're right. You do have your own problems, but this is about family. Can't you see that? You talk about family when you don't even seem to care about your own. You're so quick to throw people away when things get tough. You don't understand. Dad is not just some ordinary family member to me. He is my father. And what about me? What am I then? Just someone to throw away when things get hard? I never said that. You're twisting my words. That's exactly what you're doing to me. You think I don't care about family? You think I wanted any of this to happen? Then act like it. Show me you care. You don't just sit there and act like it's not a big deal. You know what? Maybe you should just take a look in the mirror. If you really cared, you wouldn't be acting so selfishly. You wouldn't be treating me this way. This is ridiculous. You're seriously telling me that I'm the problem here? Yes, maybe if you spent a little more time thinking about how your actions affect others, we wouldn't be in this mess. You're infuriating. I can't believe I'm having this conversation with you. Well, believe it. You might think you're above it all because of your family name, but that doesn't make you better than me. Fine, if you're going to be like this, then I don't need to talk to you anymore. Whatever, just don't come crying to me when things blow up in your face. Hey, I came here to apologize. You shouldn't just shut me out like this. I won't accept your apology. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Jasper feels the same way. I'm sorry, but you should just go home. At least accept my apology. If you don't, I won't be able to get Dad to forgive me either. I doubt your father would forgive you even if I accepted your apology. After all, he's the one who arranged for the wedding expenses and your compensation payments, right? But I'm not working and I don't have any savings. There's no way I can pay for the wedding or any compensation. That's why I have to ask Dad for forgiveness. So why don't you just take out a loan to pay for it? What? That's your only option, isn't it? I have no intention of accepting your apology. And if you're going to follow your father's orders, then you have no choice but to do that. Me? Take out a loan? But if I do that, how am I supposed to get Dad to forgive me? What you should be doing right now is standing your ground. You know that much yourself, right? I can't believe it's come to this. You have to understand that actions have consequences. You can't just expect everything to be fine because you feel sorry now. You've put yourself in this position and now you need to face it. I never meant for things to go this way. I just wanted to make things right. Wanting to make things right doesn't change the reality of the situation. You need to take responsibility for your actions, and that includes finding a way to fix the mess you've created. But it's not that easy. I can't just magically come up with the money to pay everyone back. Life isn't easy for anyone, and just because you're struggling doesn't give you a free pass to avoid your obligations. You need to figure out a way to handle this. So you really won't accept my apology at all? Not even a little bit? No, I won't. You need to understand that this is serious. I'm not just going to forget everything because you feel guilty now. You need to show that you can take responsibility for what you've done. I see. So there's no hope for me, huh? It's not about hope. It's about taking action. If you truly want to fix this, then you need to make some hard choices and own up to what you've done. Are you seriously kidding me right now? What do you think you're doing? Tricking me out of my money? Tricking you out of your money? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You were the one who said to take out a loan and pay. So I borrowed money to cover the wedding expenses and the compensation I owed you, but your dad isn't forgiving me at all. I see. Your father's pretty stubborn, huh? If he were a decent father, he wouldn't have let things get this bad for his daughter. I seriously regret paying you any compensation. I have no house, no savings, and no job, and now I'm buried in debt. How am I supposed to live like this? I think it's your own fault. Can you please not contact me anymore? I'll block you on my end, too. What? Are you trying to run away? This is ridiculous. You've squeezed money out of me. I'm honestly tired of being yelled at for everything. Fine, I admit I was wrong. I'll apologize. So could you please talk to my dad on my behalf? I borrowed money from a loan shark and I paid it back. That should prove that I've reflected on my actions. Wait, you borrowed from a loan shark? Well, who else would lend me money in my current situation? I thought that if I could get your dad to forgive me, I could pay him back quickly. That's why I need to pay it back as soon as possible. Please help me. Sorry, but that's not happening. I am done putting up with you. Until now, I tolerated your attitude for Jasper's sake, but that was a mistake. Please, if I don't pay back this debt soon, I'll be charged huge interest. You signed knowing that, didn't you? If that's the case, it's your own doing. If you're an adult, you should take responsibility for your own actions. How dare you act all high and mighty? You're just as low as I am. You're unemployed, you have no parents, and you're drowning in debt. I think you're in exactly the same situation as me. Don't act like you're better than me just because you're related to someone successful. Just because you have connections doesn't mean you get to look down on people like me. I'm not looking down on you. I'm just stating the facts. You need to face the reality of your situation. You've made choices that led you here, and now you have to deal with the consequences. What do you know about my situation? You don't have to deal with my problems. You don't understand what it's like to be in my shoes. You think I don't know? I've had my fair share of struggles too. Just because I might have a different background doesn't mean I don't know what it's like to be in a tough spot. But you're not in as deep as I am. You don't understand how it feels to be stuck in this never-ending cycle of debt with no way out. Maybe not, but that doesn't give you an excuse to keep dragging me into your problems. I've already helped you as much as I can. It's time for you to figure this out on your own. You're so infuriating. How can you be so cold-hearted? Just think for a second about how I'm feeling. I'm thinking about how you put yourself in this situation. You could have made better choices. Instead, you keep blaming everyone else for your problems. You have no idea how hard it is for me to even breathe right now. I am suffocating under this pressure. Well, maybe it's time for you to learn how to handle it instead of relying on others to bail you out. It's tough love, but sometimes that's what you need. Fine, I get it, but don't think you're off the hook just yet. You'll regret this. I'm not worried about your threats. I'm focusing on my own life and the choices I need to make. You should start doing the same. Aren't you going to talk to Lucille?
I don't care. I've already blocked her. There's nothing to discuss with Lucille. Instead, I want to ask you something.
About the debt?
Yeah, I heard you've been carrying your parents' debt. Why didn't you reach out to me or my parents for help?
Well, I feel bad about it. I mean, they're adopting me, and I didn't want to burden them with my debt. I thought it would be uncomfortable for them.
That's not how it works.
My uncle and aunt were always distant from my parents. In fact, they disliked them. It was almost a state of estrangement. When my parents vanished, I was genuinely happy that they took me in, but I just couldn't bring myself to talk about the debt. I decided to handle it myself.
Ellie.
Also, I didn't want to interfere with your life. I thought your uncle and aunt should prioritize spending their money on you more than on me.
So that's why you didn't go to college and just worked the whole time?
Thanks to that, you're thriving at a prestigious trading company, right? So in the end, it worked out well for both of us, didn't it?
You thought of yourself as somewhat of an outsider, didn't you? I never thought that way about you, nor did my parents.
I know, but it was hard to shake that feeling. I was fully aware that Lucille's character was completely lacking, but I didn't want to interfere in your choice of spouse since I'm just an outsider.
Because of that, you ended up in this situation. If only you had been more honest with me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So from now on, please, talk to me about anything. Promise me, all right? I'll do the same.
All right, thank you, Jasper.
Of course, that's the least I can do for family.
You really mean that?
Absolutely. We're family after all. Family helps each other out. I know it might feel complicated, but we're connected in ways that go beyond just blood.
I just didn't want to complicate things for you. You had your own future to think about, and I didn't want to be a burden. I thought if I stayed quiet and managed things myself, I could shield you from the negativity that my situation would bring.
But keeping everything bottled up didn't help anyone. It made things worse for you and put distance between us. You should have felt like you could lean on me.
I get that now, I really do. But back then, I was just so overwhelmed. I thought I could handle it on my own, that I could figure it out without dragging anyone else into my mess.
You know, being family means sharing both the good and the bad. It's okay to ask for help. I wish you had felt comfortable enough to come to me. I would have been there for you no matter what.
Well, maybe now I see that. It's just hard to change old habits. You know how I am. I tend to internalize everything.
I understand that. Just remember that I'm here for you. You're not alone in this. We can face whatever comes our way together.
Lucille found herself pursued by debt collectors, and with no assets and no desire to work, she kept running away. However, this lifestyle couldn't last, and she was soon caught. Although they were loan sharks, they didn't seem to be overly ruthless. They even offered her a position at a factory where she could live and work until she could repay her debts. But Lucille rejected their offer and fled again. Before long, she was arrested on suspicion of theft. Once she had gained a sense of superiority from being a part of the winners, it seemed impossible for her to accept a humble job and work diligently. When I think about it, she might actually be quite pitiable. In the aftermath of this incident, Jasper, my uncle, my aunt, and I grew closer. Now we've developed a relationship where we can talk about anything. It just goes to show that blood relations don't necessarily define family. Janice, can you arrange all of these materials instead of me today?
Brittany, where are you right now? You should be at your desk doing your own work right now.
Huh? Who do you think you are, talking to me in that sort of tone? Right now, I'm outside the office meeting with some people, so I am asking you, who seems to be doing nothing else right now, to get that work done for me.
I don't have time to handle all of your work, though. I have a lot of tasks that I need to complete myself, as well as a lot of things that I need to memorize by the end of the day. I only just came back to the HQ after spending 15 years working at one of the regional offices.
Do not talk back to me. I could have you sent back to that regional office with the snap of my fingers if that's what you want to happen.
There's no way someone like you would be able to do that to me.
Well then, that must mean you don't know a thing about me.
And the only thing I know about you is that you have a lot of accomplishments when it comes to this department.
That's right. I'm the ace of this department after all. And that's not all. My father happens to be the department manager of this department. So what do you think? Do you finally understand who I am? I could have trash like you thrown into the garbage out back with a single word to my father.
I can see that. But I only just came back to headquarters, and I was really looking forward to enjoying my time here. So could you please not threaten me by sending me back out to that regional office?
Then you listen to what I say and do it. A 16-year-old regional office worker like yourself is going to be my slave. And that's about the only use one could get out of an old hag like you. After one completes their training, they become a full-time employee here, right? That means I have to start working on getting you trained up before you can be let off the leash and allowed to roam this office building. Anyhow, before I get back inside, you'd better have those documents arranged for me, as well as have my desk completely cleaned. If perhaps you are not finished with all of that by the time I get back inside, then tomorrow you'll no longer have a position within the headquarters of this company.
Understood. I'll do what I can for you to the best of my abilities. When exactly will you be coming back inside?
We'll see. This business discussion I'm having with some of the other employees might be a long one, so I'm not sure yet.
It must be really difficult for you always to be taking so many trips outside the office, right?
Well, considering I'm the ace of the department, I have no choice. Janice, how are things for you today? Being back at the company HQ after so many years, have you gotten used to everything here again?
Hello, Fran. Thank you for asking. I think it will still take me more time to get used to how everything runs here now after 15 years have gone by.
Oh, is that right? Well, if there's ever anything you're worried about or have some difficulties with, please let me know and I'll try to help you out. Having you back at the company HQ has really helped me relax a bit.
Thank you so much for letting me know that. Sorry if me asking you anything would seem selfish of me. I promise to do my best to tackle all of my problems before I have to ask you for help.
You don't have to be so diligent with your work right now here. You've done a lot for my company in the past, and that was all enough for me to appreciate you. So please feel free to take things easy from now on and let me know when you need my help. Also, this doesn't just include you either.
Yes, I understand that.
How did your son end up faring out there?
Thank you for asking. Because of the much more quiet and clean countryside, he was able to get a feel a lot better and grow up nice and strong.
I knew there had to be something off about the city air that was causing him so much trouble.
That's right. The fact that I was having to take him to the hospital every other week due to him getting sick was really difficult on us all. But him being so much better now is still a little bit unbelievable for me.
Living in the countryside is a far better place for a child's health than here in the big city. I'm very happy we were able to make that all work out for you.
Thank you. Luckily, we were able to get me transferred out to that regional office in time.
When you first asked me about wanting to do that, I was shocked. But your reasoning for it was something that I could never say no to.
And you helping me through all of that was the biggest help I've ever received before. Because of what you did for me, my once really sick boy who could never stay in school due to always being in the hospital is really close to graduating high school now.
Is that right? He's already at that age then.
And what do you think my son told me when I asked him what he'd like to do after he graduates from college?
Hey, come on now. He's a much younger man than me, so I could never guess what a boy his age would want to be doing after college. I just hope that whatever his answer was, he's aiming for what he wants to do and not what others have told him to do. That is why I work so hard for the sake of all children, so that they can live in a world where they can make their own choices and not be limited by everything around them.
That's a good point. I hope that I'm doing the same thing for my son as well. If things were to stay the same way they are now, that wouldn't be good, right?
What do you mean by that?
Well, considering where I'm at right now, in this department, there's something I'm a little bit worried about. So if you wouldn't mind, actually, I'd like to tell you about it right now.
Janice, are you available right now?
I'm sorry, I have a lot on my plate right now, so can we do this all later today?
No way. No way. You cannot be putting me on the back burner for anything else right now. I should be more important than anything else in your life, and that includes your own work.
Excuse me?
Today, I had plans to go out and have a business meeting.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Do you think you could go to that meeting for me?
What? If you're wanting me to go do that for you, then why are you already out of the office right now? I thought you left your desk to go out and be at that meeting.
A little bit of minor business popped up that I need to deal with.
No way. What do you think you're doing skipping out on a very important business meeting that you're supposed to be at today?
Shut your mouth right now. That company isn't that big of a deal to me anyway, so what does it matter if I'm there for the meeting? Also, I thought that something like a business meeting would be some good experience for you, so I'm letting you handle it now. Who do you think you are preaching to me like that? You thank me right now for what I'm doing.
But what you're doing is very rude to those customers.
Listen, Janice, do you still not understand just how scary of a person I really am? You have no right, you being a slave to me, to be telling me your opinions on the matter. Do as I've said. If you do not, I'll have you transferred back to that regional office you were at before, or better yet, I'll have you fired.
I don't care who you think you are. What you're saying is tyrannical.
Anybody I do not like, I have fired. That's one of this company's rules now. Now, you stop acting like a jerk and remember that rule very well.
Now you're just starting to speak a load of nonsense.
Did you know that my father is on his way to becoming the top of this company? Now that you're aware of that, you'd better shut your mouth and get your crap together. So stop talking to me like you matter at all and do as I've said by going to that meeting. That is the only choice you have now. All of those people at the meeting are nothing more than my puppets anyway, so you go there as my slave and learn from the rest of them how to behave.
There's no way you can get away with acting like that.
Starting today, your training period is all finished with and you are now being transferred to the sales department, right?
Yes, that's right. From here on out, I'm going to be putting in even more effort in order to make sure I don't let anyone down.
What a heart you have. Then would you please go and grab me my tea? I am your manager after all.
Wait, you're not my manager, or anyone's for that matter.
I am the department manager's daughter, which makes me like a manager myself. I shouldn't even have to say something like this for you to be able to understand that.
Understood.
Make sure to put some milk in it for me. And I want whole milk, none of that skim milk crap. I'm going to make sure everyone else knows that they can use you as their servant. I'll allow it.
Then let me grab you your tea and bring it to you.
Hold it right there, actually. I'm going to get everyone else's orders right now for you.
Wait, but it doesn't seem like anyone else needs a tea right now. Look, nobody is even standing up to ask for one.
Are none of you going to listen to what I'm saying? You go and ask them all right now what kind of tea they want.
Stop that right now. I can see everyone is getting upset right now with how much you're yelling at all of them.
Shut your gosh dang mouth right now. If you all don't listen to what I'm saying right now, I am going to make things worse for everyone in this department.
Unless things will only be made worse for yourself if you try anything.
Huh? What the heck was that? Are you screwed in the head or something now?
Not at all. I'm just being realistic. I can see by the way you're still acting that you have no idea how to control what kind of terrible words come out of your mouth.
Terrible words? What the?
I'll have you know that after I finished up with my training, I was placed in this department working with you.
I already know about that.
And now my official post in this department, or rather in this company, is the general manager.
The general manager? When you say general manager, you mean the man that stands above all the other managers in the company?
That's right.
What kind of a lie is that? If you're trying to trick me, how about you start with a more concrete lie? The fact that you thought I'd believe you just then goes to show just how crazy one becomes with age.
I'm not sure everyone goes crazy with age, but what I've just told you is the truth, so you better start believing in it. Have a look at your emails right now and check. I'm sure that'll help you grasp what I'm saying.
Then I guess I'll take a look at my emails.
Please and thank you.
What? Is this serious?
Thank you so much for doing as you were told and looking at your emails. As your new general manager, I'm going to try and do everything I can to support you. So please reciprocate that kind of support with me.
You're higher up than my own father?
That seems to be the case now. And that means from now on, you better start calling me Mrs. Janice, as that is a more fitting way to speak to your general manager.
No way.
Now, with me having become the general manager of the HQ, I think I'm going to have to start working on going through each department and seeing what things need to be improved. Starting with this one, the sales department. And from what I've seen so far, you, of all people, with your very rude behavior and horrible treatment of coworkers will need to be dealt with. Because of your actions thus far, I feel that the whole sales department is performing way below my standards, and that is not a good thing. So, as a way of showing you just how serious I am, I'm going to have you demoted so that the rest of this department can get back to work after having a fresh breath of air again.
Why are you going to demote me? I'm the ace of the sales department.
And I believe you being this so-called ace also needs to be looked into a bit more thoroughly.
Stop screwing around with me. You're only doing all of this to me because you hate me, right?
As the general manager, I will not let my own emotions get in the way of the decisions I make. This is for the sake of the whole entire sales department and this whole entire company.
I will not allow you to do this to me.
But this is what the general manager has decided to do. So for some simple worker like you to say that you won't allow it means that you are openly welcome to being fired from your job, right?
I think that you even becoming the general manager was a major mistake, and you should not be in that position at all.
But me being made the general manager was a choice our higher-ups made.
Then I'm going to have a word with all of them, and I'll have HR remove you from that position.
That's impossible. Not even your father would be able to do such a thing to me.
I know that. Listen to this. I happen to be on good terms with the CEO of this company, which means that whatever I say to him, he'll be more than happy to listen to. And that means he'll take you out of that position and put an ace like me in it.
Oh, is that so? Then please, by all means, give it your best shot.
You're going to regret ever trying to take me down today. So for some reason, it really does seem that you're the general manager now.
Did you have a nice chat with the CEO? I'm glad to hear that. You really had me worked up there for a second.
But now that I've chatted with her, I know a few more things.
Oh, and what could that be?
As long as I continue to put in the work I have been, I'll become a general manager like you soon, right? Now I have a real reason to be working here.
That's right. This company takes into account all the work that their employees put in and judge them fairly based off that.
What a great company this is.
Yes, I agree with you there.
Sure, you may be feeling good about things right now, but just know that you are not in a very secure position.
Oh, and why do you think that?
Because I'm going to steal that position from you right away. I'm the ace of the sales department after all, and unlike you, I've been putting in all my effort at the HQ of this company. I might even become the next general manager by next year.
I don't see how me having worked at a regional office and you having worked here all this time makes a difference, though. Now, what I'd like to talk about is why you think you can still consider yourself the ace of the sales department.
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off now? Do you have any idea how amazing all of my accomplishments in this department have been?
I understand that there have been a lot of achievements obtained by this department.
Then what the heck are you talking about?
I'm talking about how it's unlikely that you're the one responsible for all the accomplishments in this department.
What do you mean by that?
To be open with you, as the general manager now, I've been having a look through the history of the sales department and everything it's done. And after a couple of hours, I've realized that you have been taking all of the work your coworkers have been doing in that department and taking credit for it all.
What the hell? I would never do something like that. Stop saying things like that about me right now.
No matter what you have to say about this, it's no use. I've been investigating things further and have been talking with a lot of the other employees in the sales department. And a lot of them got together and confessed to me all of the unacceptable things you've been doing here.
Those are all lies they're telling you. They're just trying to knock me down from the top because they don't like me being the ace.
That's not true at all. I have been talking with them through all of the events. You steal all of the easy work from them and give them all of the work you find to be too difficult for you or a pain in the butt to complete.
That's wrong. I have not been doing any of that.
You really think I'm going to trust what you're saying to me now? Even I fell victim to that when you would force me to manage all of those documents for you, as well as clean up your workspace, right? Are you going to tell me that I misunderstood all of that as well?
That was all. That was just me giving you experience doing different things.
Then what were all those threats about having me fired if I didn't complete everything for you on time? What a joke.
Sorry that I misspoke then, but I never was trying to force you to do all of those things.
I'm not going to trust whatever you say anymore. Another thing, in this company, employees are paid for the work they do. So when you take credit for all of those other people's work, you were also taking the money they were owed for it.
Is that right?
Yes. So you're going to have to pay the company back however much you owe those other coworkers of yours.
Why do I have to do something like that now?
Because that money is only meant for the people that actually put in the work to complete those projects, and is not meant for anyone else. Which means that later on, you'll be getting a few documents describing to you how much you owe the company back. Make sure you read all of those amounts carefully for me, please.
Do you seriously think that you can go ahead and do something like that to me?
Of course I do.
All you are is a simple general manager, and the only ones that are able to do anything like get money from one of the employees and investigate them is the HR department.
That's right.
And that's too bad for you because my father happens to be really good friends with everyone in that department. So when I go and have a word with him about what you're doing to me, he'll go and tell them to stop you and have all those documents thrown out.
Sure, I can see your father doing something like that.
My father will do anything for me to make sure that I move up in this company, which means that after this, he's going to have you kicked out of that position and then he can become the general manager and I can take his position.
Oh, so you're going to let your father become the general manager instead of you?
I will. Him getting that position is a lot more realistic and can happen much sooner. And then I'll make you regret all of this BS you've been trying to shove on me.
I'm very sorry, but that's never going to happen.
What? So you're not going to surrender right now to me? Well, keep on trying to fight us then. Just know that it will be for nothing.
No, I'm not talking about trying to fight you guys.
Then what are you talking about?
Now that I think about it, you often leave the office to go out to meetings and such, right?
Yes. I work for sales after all, so it's a part of my job, right?
I found that very odd of you, though. You would always be forcing others to do all your work for you, yet you still wanted to take the time to go out to those meetings.
What now? I happen to actually be working seriously over here. And that's why I'm seen as the ace of this department.
You've been working seriously? Then what's all of this about?
What is this picture?
This is a picture that someone I assume to be your friend posted on Instagram. A picture of them having a really fun time at an amusement park, right? And inside that picture, there is also you standing behind them. I took a look at when this was posted, and it just so happens they posted the picture during the middle of the day, on a work day. After looking a bit further into the time of day, I found that that's normally when you're out of the office at those so-called business meetings of yours, right?
That was taken on one of my days off, and she probably just posted the photo during the week when I was working.
I see, so that's what happened here. But how come there are plenty of other photos on her account of you going out with her during the week? Are all of those pictures she took during your days off and just decided to post while you should be at work?
What? That's right.
I see. You really have some unique friends then, don't you?
What the hell, man? I can have whatever friends I want.
Of course you can. But something about all of this seems to be a bit off is all.
What's this?
This is you with your father having a fun time walking through a resort town. Seeing a father and his daughter getting along so well is such a wonderful sight. But this time it also comes with a very massive problem. This was taken at the time you were supposed to be away on a business trip, and your father so happened to use paid time off to go on this trip with you.
No, this is...
I don't recall you having to go to this resort town for a business trip, Lexi. What is going on here?
Sometimes I'll go and meet with my father.
In a resort town? Tell me, why, when you were supposed to be away on a business trip nowhere close to a tropical resort town, were you able to meet your father there?
I don't know why.
All right, then. Well, thank goodness this time you didn't have a terrible excuse for it. What I know for sure now is that you lied about going on that business trip and used the company payroll to go on vacation with your father. And your father, being the department manager that he is, knew it was happening. Perhaps this was planned out by your father in the first place.
How do you have a picture like this?
Because you both have been under investigation for a very long time now. Always having to leave work for business meetings and business trips. But all of your achievements only came from stealing other people's work. Plenty of people started to realize things were off about you and your father, even before I came back here.
Crap.
Your father has already confessed to everything we've shown him. That is why now, both you and your father are being fired. That's why I was saying it would be impossible for either one of you to become the general manager.
No way. I'm being fired? Can't something else be done about this?
This is what you both get. Tomorrow, you will no longer have any position within this company, and the same thing goes for your father. The very next day, both Brittany and her father tried coming back to the office, pleading that they both wanted one more chance to show that they really did care about their jobs there. However, the lady at the front desk would not allow them in, and said that if they did not leave the front lobby soon, she would have security called on them and have them both walked out. Both of them would heed her warnings, though, and would leave the office building, never stepping foot inside the place ever again. After having been fired and told not to ever come near the company's HQ ever again, Brittany tried her best to find another job working somewhere else. However, not many companies in the city were willing to even give her an interview. The story of why she was fired, as well as what happened the day after being fired, had spread all over the city, and not a single company owner wanted to hire her. And the same situation can be assumed for her father as well, so they were both stuck being unemployed members of this society for a little bit. And not too long after that, their household finances went straight down the drain and has not recovered since. But things were only made worse when mail came to their door with the documents stating the amount of money Brittany had to owe the company after misusing both payrolls and having taken the money for other people's work. She was able to borrow some money in order to pay the company back, but that forced her into some seriously muddy water, now having debt with a loan shark. Because of that, Brittany's father went out and found himself a part-time job working for a car wash to try and help her pay that loan shark off as soon as possible, while also paying the bills. However, Brittany complained to her mother and father about how she could never sink so low as to work part-time, and that led to her parents kicking her out of the house. I heard that she sat out front of their house for some time crying and screaming that they were the worst, and that they should not be able to abandon their own daughter like that. However, neither one of her parents listened to her screams, and nobody else in the neighborhood wanted to hear it, leading to them all calling the police on her. This then led to her running off with whatever things she could take, and by the time the police showed up to see what was going on, Brittany was long gone. And guess what happened to her soon after that? She started to work in the city's red light district, doing things that women like me care not to explain. She was also able to find herself an apartment out there, although it was said to be very run down and out of shape for most people to actually want to live in. However, for her, it was her only option besides becoming homeless and never having a chance at doing the kind of work she was in then. But only a month after hearing about all of that, I heard she was fired from working there, as her rotten character was something no man wanted a part of, not even those that liked to be dominated. After that, she started looking for work anywhere she could find it, but a terrible cycle of being hired and then fired started for her. And in the end, she had to go to the one place she never wanted to, and that's working part-time at a car wash with her father, who no longer wants any part of her. But the both of them, being in some pretty steep debt, knew it would be easier to pay off if they all worked together, And so, just like that, Brittany's father let her back into their home under one condition, and that was that she worked at least 80 hours a week. Right now, that family is having to fight to stay alive by taking on more and more part-time work. And that's all that left me feeling a little bit bad for the wife of such a hopeless family. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
What are you going to do? Please make a decision already. I can't wait around forever, you know.
Well, I've told you repeatedly, haven't I? I'm not joining that Manda gang or whatever it is.
Every single parent at this kindergarten is part of it. If you choose not to join, it means you're turning everyone around you into enemies. Are you sure you're okay with that?
How much does it cost again?
The entrance fee is $500. Then there's an annual fee of $300 every year. So what do you think? If you consider it as a way to protect yourself from danger, isn't it a reasonable price?
No, that's outrageously expensive. And what exactly is this danger you're talking about? The most dangerous thing at this kindergarten is definitely you.
Oh, really? But complimenting me like that doesn't help your case, you know.
I'm not complimenting you.
So, what are you going to do? Hurry up and decide already. I can't keep wasting my time on just you. My time is valuable.
Look, I've said this multiple times, haven't I? I'm not joining the Manda gang.
Oh, really? Are you sure you won't regret this? You never know what kind of dangers lurk around in this kindergarten. I think it would be wise to have someone like me, part of the gang, on your side.
Gang? You're part of a gang?
Of course! My name is Manda, isn't it? It's obvious I'm either a spy or a gang member.
I think you're being a bit prejudiced here. Besides, if you're part of a gang, that makes you an even more dangerous presence.
That's exactly why you should have me as your ally. But if you refuse, that's your choice. Fine, I won't ask you again. However, just know that I won't be responsible for what happens next.
You're literally demanding bodyguard fees. That's classic gang behavior. Regardless of whether you're in a gang or not, I'm not joining the Manda gang.
Okay, so you're saying you're fine with whatever dangerous things happen? Just make sure you're careful out there. Just think about what could happen if you turn me into an enemy.
Seriously, what are you talking about? I can't believe you're using this scare tactic on me.
I'm just trying to look out for you. You might think you're fine on your own, but trust me, being alone isn't always safe, especially in a place like this. You'll never know who you might encounter or what could happen at the kindergarten when you least expect it.
You really have a flair for the dramatic, don't you? It's just a kindergarten, not a battlefield. Besides, do you really think the other parents are that terrifying? I mean, they're just parents like me, trying to do their best.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. This is not just any kindergarten. The dynamics here are complex, and the other parents can be quite territorial. Not being part of the group means you might miss out on an important information, or even face unwarranted hostility.
So you're saying I have to pay money to keep myself in the loop and avoid being ostracized? That sounds ridiculous. Why should I have to pay to feel safe among parents?
Because that's how things work in this community. If you want to be a part of it, you have to follow the rules. And trust me, it's better to have allies than to go it alone. You'll find it more beneficial in the long run.
Why do I get the feeling this is just a way for you to get some money? It feels like you're just using the concept of danger as a way to manipulate me into joining.
Maybe you're right. Or maybe I'm genuinely looking out for you. Either way, it's up to you. Just think carefully about your decision. Once you're out, there's no coming back. You'll be left to fend for yourself, and who knows what that entails.
Honestly, you're making this all sound so much worse than it is. Maybe I just need to trust my instincts and go with my gut feeling, rather than letting you frighten me into joining your little group.
Go ahead, trust your instincts. Just know that I warned you. It's not me who will suffer the consequences if you decide to remain an outsider.
Is that a threat? Because it sounds like one. You're coming off as pretty intimidating right now, you know.
I'm just stating facts. You have to understand the reality of the situation. It's better to be prepared than to find out too late. Keep your friends close and keep your potential enemies even closer, right?
I really don't like this conversation. I can't believe I'm being pushed into a corner like this. What happened to having a choice?
Well, choices come with consequences. Just remember that.
So, for a while now, those cheap harassments have been continuing. Hey, don't you think we need to make that idiot understand what's going on?
I absolutely knew you were going to say that. Listen, I'm not the same person I used to be.
What are you talking about? People don't change that easily. You're still the same local gang leader who absolutely hates anything crooked. It's legendary that you've never lost a fight to a guy.
That's all in the past. And for the love of everything, you should just forget about it already. You're the only one in this town who knows about that.
I'm proud of you. As your brother, you've been my hero since the day you took down those bullies who were picking on me.
Look, that was a long time ago. You don't have to keep worrying about it. Besides, that made you turn into a delinquent too. Anyway, I don't want any danger to come to Millie, so I'm not going to do anything.
But you're being harassed, right? Are you just gonna let it happen?
It's just whispers behind my back and some intentional shoulder bumps here and there. I can handle it if I just put up with it.
How weak is the legendary gang leader now?
Because they say they're from the gang. It would be troublesome to turn them into enemies, right?
No way, that's obviously just a bluff. You don't really believe that, do you?
I know it's a bluff.
And come on, you're not the kind of person who gets scared of a gang, right?
Anyway, I don't want to stand out anymore. I want to sever ties with my past and promote anti-violence.
What a shame. If you ever decide to get back at them, let me know. I'll help you with anything.
You just want to see me get into trouble, don't you?
Of course! I don't want to see you as some toothless tiger.
Right now, my daughter is the most important thing to me. I don't want to create unnecessary problems for Millie. You understand, right?
Well, if you put it that way, I can't say anything. But if you ever decide to retaliate, as long as it doesn't put Millie in harm's way, let me know. I'll help with whatever you need.
You're unbelievable.
Just think about it. You've dealt with those bullies before. You've got this. We're family, and family looks out for each other, right?
Look, that was different. I had a reason back then. Now it's about being a responsible adult and setting a good example for Millie. I can't let her see me fighting or getting involved in gang matters.
Come on, being responsible doesn't mean you can't stand up for yourself. You don't want her to think that she should just accept bullying, do you? That she should be passive?
I'm trying to teach her that there are better ways to handle conflicts without resorting to violence. I want her to be strong in her own way, not through aggression.
Strength can come in many forms. Sometimes standing your ground is the most important thing. If you let them walk all over you, what kind of message does that send to Millie?
Maybe, but I still think there are more peaceful solutions. I'm not going to let my past define me or my future. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? You're the one who's in the way. Don't stand right in front of me like that.
I was holding hands with my child over here. How could you reach out and touch me like that? What were you thinking?
Shut up. I don't care about your whining. You're just a nuisance, old lady. Don't underestimate the gang.
You're an old lady too, you know. And what does it matter that you're in a gang?
Ha! Who do you think you are talking back to me like that? I kicked you out because you were in my way without asking for permission. If you've got a problem with me, the gang member, why don't you say it to my face?
You scum. I'll crush you.
What did you just say?
You almost hurt Millie. This has crossed the line. I won't forgive you for this.
What's with you? Do you think I'll get scared because you're acting tough? I'm in a gang, you know. Is that how you want to rebel against me?
Well then, how about we settle this one-on-one later? After the graduation ceremony, come behind the toilet. Got it? Of course you'll come along. We'll talk it out there.
Behind the toilet?
Are you maybe scared? A person who claims to be in a gang, afraid to come alone?
Ha! I'm not scared at all. Fine, I'll go. I'll make sure you understand just how scary I can be.
I'll be waiting. Amanda, it's terrible that you hit me with a wooden plank from behind. Can't you face me head on?
Ha! I don't know about that. Don't put the blame on me.
What?
Did you even see what the person who attacked you from behind looked like? You didn't, did you? So how could you know who did it?
Are you seriously underestimating me right now? I was trying to keep my cool and resolve this through conversation, but now I really don't care what happens next. Got it?
So what's going to happen? Besides going against me means you're going against the gang. If you're okay with that, then go ahead.
Then why don't you bring your gang with you?
Eh?
Since you have the gang backing you up, hurry up and bring them here.
What? Are you really okay with that? You won't get off easy.
So hurry up and bring them. I'm curious to see what kind of people will come.
No. This will turn into a big deal, so I'll let it slide. Forget it. This conversation is over.
Who said it's over? Bring your gang here now. If you don't, I'll crush you. What are you going to do?
What? I said I'm not calling them. It feels ridiculous to call them out for something like this.
Are you trying to say that you were lying about having a gang?
Huh? It's not a lie. If push comes to shove, I can bring a whole crowd to attack you.
Oh, really? A gang that can only sneak up on someone from behind? That's pretty pathetic.
Again, I'm saying it wasn't me. It must have been some suspicious person who showed up. If you joined the Manda gang, I could have protected you.
Here, watch this video.
Huh? What is this?
This is a video of you hitting me from behind with a wooden plank. It clearly shows your face, so this is undeniable proof.
What? No, this is...
It's pointless to come up with excuses now. With this, you're officially a criminal.
Wait a minute, who recorded this video?
That doesn't matter. Now, I could take this video straight to the police, but I'd like to know what you want to do.
No. Please, wait.
You don't want me to do that? Of course you wouldn't. So I need you to promise to listen to what I say from now on.
Hold on. Is that a threat?
Yes, it's a threat. If you don't do as I say, I'll make sure you regret it. After all, if you put my daughter in danger and then hit me from behind, it's only natural that this would be the consequence.
This is just... I never meant to put your daughter in danger.
Well, it looks like you did. You have to understand that actions have consequences. You might think you can get away with this, but I'm not going to let you.
But I didn't know it would go this far.
That's the problem. You acted without thinking, and now you've put yourself in a terrible situation. You think this is a joke? It's serious.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to.
Sorry, won't cut it now. You have a chance to make things right, but you need to cooperate with me. No more games. Are you going to listen or not?
Okay, Okay, I promise I'll listen. Just don't show that video to anyone, please.
Then we have an understanding. If you try to pull something like this again, I won't hesitate to use this evidence against you. You better watch your back. I'm keeping a close watch on you. If you do anything unnecessary, that video will be released to the public.
I understand. I'm just walking quietly.
I want you to return all the money you've collected from everyone under the guise of membership fees and annual dues. Until that's done, I won't take my eyes off you.
I get it. I'll do as you say. I just need to visit each house one by one, right? But how did it come to this?
If you have time to complain, then hurry up and go.
Yeah, I understand. But if I have to return the full amount to everyone, I'm going to go bankrupt.
You're part of a gang, right? Don't you have money?
Well, not all gangs are necessarily rich, but I'll try to pay back as much as I can. But returning the full amount to everyone is...
Then go into debt to get the money. If you don't pay everyone back in full, that video will be out there for everyone to see.
No way! Going into debt like that. If I did that, my family would be ruined.
What about the families of the mothers you've been extorting for money? You've ignored their suffering.
But they joined the Manda gang of their own free will. I didn't extort money from them.
You're talking about that while brandishing the gang? Just get on with it already.
But I have to prepare the money first.
I see. So you're stalling for time. Are you waiting for someone to come to your rescue?
It's too late for that. I've already called my friends. They're part of the gang. They're ready to make an example out of you. We're about to raid your house. If you don't want that, you better delete that video and apologize to me.
I don't care. Let's just get started on the refunds.
What? You don't care? Your family is in that house, isn't it? You must have your daughter there too.
If you want to raid, go ahead. That's up to you. If you're trying to waste my time this much, I guess I'll have to spread that video after all.
No, wait, I get it. I'll go refund everyone. Just know that you're okay with whatever happens to your family.
I don't want anything to happen to them, but if you want to raid, I won't stop you. Just know that you're prepared for that, right?
Huh? Oh no, I mean, I'm ready. I am, after all, part of a gang. That's nothing to me.
Then go ahead and give the order for the raid. Either way, you're still going to have to refund the other mothers.
Ha! Let's see how long you can keep that up. I just gave the order for the raid. Your family is finished now.
Are you all right? Did you get a response from them?
What? No, not yet. But they should be ready to move at any moment, so they'll respond quickly.
You might want to call them.
Yeah, I want to see the look of suffering on your family's faces as soon as possible. So I'll make the call and give them instructions. Just wait a moment. What on earth is going on? When I called, I was told that the attackers had been wiped out and that everyone had been sent to the hospital.
I anticipated something like this might happen, so my brother has been guarding our home. I'm glad to hear that. You didn't lose your life. People who would go so far as to harm a family member could have dealt with my brother in ways you can't even imagine.
Wait.
Now finally, I can resume my rounds of apologies. You can't buy yourself more time anymore, right?
I can't believe this.
You tried to secretly ask Helga for help? I heard you handed her a note explaining the situation.
What? Why?
It seems that once she understood the circumstances, she decided to side with me.
Why? She was my right-hand person.
Well, that's how much you're disliked. You need to properly apologize and make amends for what you've done.
No way. But I don't have any money left.
If you can't return anymore, then you'll have to borrow some from a friend of mine who lends money. I'll take you there right now.
I don't want to borrow money.
If you're saying you can't pay back anymore, then borrowing is your only option. Don't worry. I'll make sure the collection process is gentle.
I don't want to deal with a loan shark connected to you. And besides, I'm in a gang, remember? Do you really think I can just get away with this?
You're not in a gang. It's pretty obvious.
What? Of course, I am part of a gang. Just earlier, I was able to hire those attackers.
Those were just hired thugs, and my brother got the information from them.
Damn it! No, but those guys will go to the police. If that happens, your brother will be arrested for assault.
The police will certainly be interested in those who attempted to raid a private residence. And they'll also be looking for whoever was giving them orders.
Damn! What is wrong with you, really?
By the way, my brother also looked into your background. Not only are you not in a gang, but your name isn't Manda, it's Mandy.
Huh?
So you thought up a gang-like name and went by Manda? Honestly, how pathetic can you be? Though I don't think Manda sounds particularly gang-like either.
Please, I'm begging you, don't tell anyone.
If you don't want me to tell anyone, then please go ahead and borrow from my moneylender. For making your rounds of apologies, you'll probably need about $20,000 in cash, right? The interest rates will be a bit high, but it's not an amount you can't pay back.
I can't take this anymore.
So, is your apology tour finally over? I bet everyone received you with smiles, pleased to get some money back. You must have a clear understanding now of just how much you've been disliked.
Hey, it's done now, right? Can you just delete that video, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, but that video has already been spread far and wide.
What?
What I'm saying is, it doesn't really matter now if you try to delete it. I sent it to your husband too, so you're in for quite a ride from now on.
Wait a minute, that's not what we agreed on. What on earth are you doing? I did my part by apologizing and returning the money.
But you were the one who called in thugs and sought help from Helga halfway through. You broke the agreement too. Well, to be fair, I plan to spread that video regardless of whether you kept your promise.
So from the start?
That's right. From now on, you're in the position of the defendant and I'm the plaintiff. Get ready because I'm going to squeeze you for all the damages I can. All those moms from the kindergarten are also demanding compensation. Things are about to get a lot tougher for you, but I hope you don't get discouraged.
This is it. My life is over.
Yeah, I think so too. Your life is over. This is what happens when you make an enemy out of me.
You know, it's pretty wild how quickly things escalated. One moment you thought you could manipulate the situation, and now look at where you are, on the brink of losing everything. I wonder if you truly grasp the depth of your predicament.
I mean, you went around thinking that you could treat people however you wanted, assuming they would just accept it. But no one was okay with your actions, especially not after everything you've done. This isn't just about money, it's about respect, and clearly you've lost that in spades. Do you even realize how many people you've hurt? It's not just the moms you owe money to, it's the relationships you've damaged and the trust you've shattered. This is going to haunt you, and you can't just wish it away. I don't think you fully understand what I'm capable of when it comes to fighting back. You assumed you could push me around, but I've got my resources too. You might have been the big shot, but in reality, you're just a small fry with big dreams of grandeur. You've dug your own grave, and now you have to lie in it. You could have avoided this by playing nice, but you chose the hard way. It's sad, really. I almost feel pity for you. But then again, you've brought this on yourself. So, are you prepared for the storm that's coming? Because it's going to be relentless. There's no backing out now. You've crossed too many lines. Your pleas and your cries will fall on deaf ears. No one is going to come to your rescue because you've burned too many bridges.
Hannah, I have to say, revenge really is fun. I was genuinely thrilled when I got your message saying you were gonna get back at them.
I just couldn't let it slide. And I owe a big thanks to Dexter, too. He really helped us fend off those guys.
Honestly, what difference does it make how many of those pathetic thugs there were? It's all the same to me. But seriously, is that really all you plan to do?
Is that all?
Yeah, I mean, those thugs and that self-proclaimed gang member who calls himself Manda, don't you think that's a bit too mild for you? I expected more from you. Remember the last time you had them all tied up with ropes and tossed them in the river?
Okay, enough with the old stories. What I did this time was still quite a significant act of revenge in the eyes of the public.
But it just feels a little underwhelming for someone like you.
However, I want to say this. As your sister, I'm really proud of how far you've come.
What? Of course, you've done an amazing job. You filmed Manda getting punched, you beat up those thugs, and you even exposed that Manda was using a fake name.
Oh, well, that's how you see it? I was expecting a more touching sentiment.
Sure, I didn't have much screen time in this whole ordeal, but this act of revenge wouldn't have happened without my support. So if you ever have someone you want to get back at in the future, you better count on me to help you out. It's not just about the revenge itself, but the way you've pulled everything together. You've really shown everyone that you won't be messed with, and that's something to be proud of. Not only did you take a stand for yourself, but you also made it clear that no one should underestimate you. Remember, it's not just about striking back, it's about sending a message. The way you handled those thugs and put Manda in their place shows you've got grit. You didn't just roll over and take it. You fought back in a way that would make anyone think twice before crossing you again. So, when you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, it's about more than just the little victories here and there. It's about establishing your reputation and showing people that you're someone who stands up for what's right. It's about empowering yourself and those around you.
Manda, or rather, Mandy, found herself in a precarious situation when she was collectively sued by the mothers at her son's kindergarten. This group of parents came together to file a lawsuit against her, claiming that her actions had somehow harmed their children, leading to significant emotional distress and other repercussions. The situation escalated quickly, and it forced her into a dire financial situation that she could hardly afford. The lawsuit turned into a public spectacle, attracting attention and gossip that permeated the community. As the legal battle unfolded, it became evident that Mandy's life was spiraling out of control. The immense stress, compounded by public scrutiny, took a toll on her marriage. Understandably, her husband reached a breaking point. He could no longer tolerate the chaos surrounding them. He packed his belongings and left, initiating a divorce that only added to Mandy's already tumultuous life. The split was not amicable, with anger and resentment festering between them. Each party had their reasons for the breakdown of their relationship, but in the end, it was Mandy who lost the most in this painful process. With the divorce finalized, the custody battle over their son became an unfortunate reality. Despite her tireless efforts to prove that she could provide a stable and nurturing environment for her child, Mandy ultimately lost custody to her ex-husband. This decision shattered her heart and left her feeling completely alone in the world. She found herself living in a small, rundown apartment, struggling to make ends meet and grappling with the overwhelming loneliness that now filled her life. The once bright and lively home she had envisioned for herself and her son was replaced with the stark reality of her situation. The dismal surroundings of her new living arrangement served as a constant reminder of how far she had fallen. To add insult to injury, Mandy's financial troubles didn't stop with the lawsuit and the divorce. She was already burdened with debt, but as time went on, the interest on her loans continued to pile up, making it increasingly difficult for her to escape the cycle of financial despair. The bills kept coming, and with each passing day, her situation seemed to grow more dire. The weight of her financial obligations felt suffocating, and she often found herself lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling and wondering how she would ever regain control over her life. Meanwhile, on the internet, things were not looking up for Mandy either. A video that had been posted during the height of her controversy went viral, spreading like wildfire across various social media platforms. People began to share and comment on it, fueling a public outcry that seemed never-ending. The situation escalated into a full-blown scandal, with online trolls mocking her and spreading rumors that added to her humiliation. It felt as though the entire world was watching her downfall, and she felt completely exposed and vulnerable. Each notification on her phone brought a fresh wave of negativity that she could hardly bear. I often reflect on the extent of the revenge I took against those who had wronged me, and while I acknowledge that it was quite severe, there's still this nagging feeling, and perhaps it wasn't enough. Dexter, on the other hand, has been relentless in his judgment, insisting that my actions were soft and lacked the intensity necessary to truly make a point. This raises the question of what exactly would satisfy him. What level of retribution would he consider sufficient? It's a perplexing thought that lingers in my mind, causing me to wonder if I should have done more or approached the situation differently. Looking back on my life during these tumultuous times, I can't help but reflect on how I must have appeared to others. Perhaps they viewed me as some sort of monstrous figure, someone who was completely out of control and wreaking havoc wherever I went. I never intended for things to spiral to such an extent, nor did I ever want to hurt anyone. In my mind, I was simply reacting to the overwhelming circumstances that surrounded me. I was a mother fighting to protect my child and myself, not some villain in a story meant to entertain. I remember the days when I would go to the kindergarten to pick up my son, and the stares I received from the other mothers were piercing. It was as if they could sense the turmoil brewing beneath the surface of my life. Some would whisper behind my back, and I could only imagine the awful things they were saying. Others would simply avoid me altogether, pretending I didn't exist. It felt as though the entire community had turned against me, and that sense of isolation only deepened my struggles. Despite the overwhelming feelings of despair, I still tried to put on a brave face. I would often wear a smile, pretending that everything was okay, even when I felt like I was crumbling inside. It was exhausting to maintain that facade, but I believed it was necessary to protect my son from the harsh reality of our situation. I wanted him to feel safe and secure, even if everything around us was falling apart. In my heart, I knew that I had made mistakes, but I also believed that I had the right to defend myself and my family. The line between right and wrong became blurred, and I found myself questioning my own moral compass. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, I wondered how I would ever regain a sense of normalcy in my life. Would I ever be able to rise above the shame and humiliation that seemed to follow me like a dark cloud? The memories of happier times with my son haunted me relentlessly. I thought of the playful moments we had shared, the laughter that filled our home, and the dreams I had for our future together. Now those dreams felt like a distant memory, overshadowed by the reality of my situation. I missed the little things like bedtime stories and cooking meals together. Those were moments that had brought us joy and comfort, and they seemed so far out of reach now. As I navigated this challenging phase of my life, I began to search for ways to cope with the overwhelming sadness and loneliness. I sought support from friends and family, though many were hesitant to approach the subject, unsure of how to help. I appreciated their concern, but often felt more isolated than ever. It was a paradox. I longed for companionship, but was afraid of the judgment that might come with it. The very thought of opening up to others about my struggles filled me with dread. I found solace in journaling, pouring my thoughts onto the pages as a way to process my emotions. Writing became my refuge, a safe space where I could express my fears, frustrations, and hopes without fear of judgment. Through my writing, I began to understand my feelings more deeply, allowing me to confront the pain head-on rather than suppressing it. The act of putting pen to paper helped me untangle the mess of emotions that swirled within me, providing clarity and a sense of release. Additionally, I sought out online communities of others who had faced similar challenges. While the internet had played a significant role in my downfall, it also became a source of support. I discovered forums and groups where people shared their stories of overcoming adversity. Reading their experiences gave me hope and reminded me that I was not alone in my struggles. There was a certain comfort in knowing that others had faced similar demons and emerged stronger on the other side. As the months passed, I started to rebuild my life piece by piece. I focused on finding a job that would allow me to regain some independence and provide for myself. It was a daunting task, but I knew it was necessary for my well-being. I took every opportunity that came my way, even if it meant stepping out of my comfort zone. I was determined to prove myself that I could overcome the obstacles that had been thrown in my path. Through hard work and determination, I began to find my footing again. I learned to embrace the small victories, celebrating each step forward as a testament to my resilience. Every job interview, every dollar earned, and every moment spent with my son were milestones in my journey of recovery. While the scars of my past remained, I refused to let them define me. Instead, I chose to use my experiences as motivation to forge a brighter future for myself. The journey to healing was not linear. There were setbacks and moments of doubt along the way. Yet, with every challenge I faced, I grew stronger and more determined. I realized that it was possible to reclaim my narrative and reshape my identity. I was no longer just a victim of circumstance. I was a survivor, a warrior fighting for her future.